Okay, I should be working. Gonna leave it on the stream on this screen for just a minute. Firstly, because I finally figured out what actually broke, and it's the weirdest thing. Hello, everybody. Um, Basically, OBS has two sets of docked panels, like those that are actually built in to OBS. And then because I have the Stream Elements extension, because I use some of their alerts and services, that um, they essentially had their own docks, and all the Stream Element docks are just broken. They're just gone. I don't know why, but I also know that in the last like few months, Twitch has been rolling out their own alerts, which was kind of the main reason I used Stream Elements, minus a few chatbot things. So I might just have to sit down and fiddle with the Twitch version and figure out if it's even worth it to keep fiddling with Stream Elements or just go back to basic OBS. I'm not sure yet. Um, so I will tinker with that a little later. I didn't realize that that had changed. So I will be tinkering with that. And I will say I've also been tinkering with some different overlay functions. And like, for example, I'll show you guys. This is unfinished and un not edited. What is word English? How do customized? I haven't customized it yet, so it's very much work in progress. But there's a general chat. Why is it as two chats? Oh no, it's not two chats. It's the stats on top and then chat. Words are hard sometimes. But yeah, I was tinkering with this for like a sit down and chat time, or to be able to like scoot things over if I wanted to have the game smaller. And I kind of don't like there's this weird dead space in the middle bottom that I don't like. But I got to tinkering with it and I was like, I can put the game up there if I wanted to keep chat on this screen. However, there is one thing Xenoblade X is absolutely notorious on, and that is that the UI is incredibly tiny because it's the first game they ever made for 1080p resolution. And they hadn't really figured out like adaptive UI or anything like that yet, so it's kind of screwy. Also, I realized the game audio or the Wii U audio is actually getting picked up already because it's set as a source right now. But so I really won't plan to use that for this game, but like there might be some games later that I do that with, or I might continue to tweak the UI and figure out what I'm comfortable with. But for now, we're just gonna full screen this. Let me wake up the controller. So here's where it gets weird. I have two profiles on this console, and I honest to God don't remember which one I finished the game with. So one of these is going to have nothing, and one of these is going to have everything. So we're just going to have to poke my head in and see which one's which real quick, and go from there. I thought about looking beforehand, but I also didn't want to accidentally start the wrong file, because when you first start, it's a one-off start is the way it's because it's one game save per profile. You cannot like go back and change or change save or anything like that unless you just restart your entire file, and I don't want to do that because I have like 100+ hours in the game on my other save. So let me go ahead and load up here. So there are a few little points that I will make. One of which is that this game will actually load and look a little better for me than it would if someone else went and picked up a copy. Because connecting. because when the game first came, yes, I'm aware Miiverse is dead. Thank you. Okay, it's going to make me tap the tablet. I'm glad I kept that on hand. No longer be able to do blade reports. Yes, that I'm aware of. I'm leery that it went to continue. All right, I'm gonna check continue because I'm not gonna risk new game. Let me take a quick look. If this loads up, all said and done, I will just immediately flip accounts. So, squad, I have to remember. Yeah, So the squad thing, that's actually the online. All right, so let me see. Prospector. Yeah, this is my original save. I'm almost certain now. Which means I may have spoilers in party. I'm gonna black this out for just a second. Okay, I do not have spoilers in party. I got there too slow. But yeah, this is my original save, so nope. Yeah, I realized like way too late. It's like the fact to default to continue. I have a mild concern. That does answer my initial question, though, at least. So, going to switch over here. Pay no attention to the like 10-year plus old icons. Like, I've updated my Miis and stuff on the Switch, but I've never gone back and updated them on older systems. I really do need to do that, though. It bugs me. Alrighty. So this should be brand new file, brand new game. Hi, Preach! How are you? Okay, yeah, see, there is no continue. So this is the brand new file. So anyway, what I was originally getting at was when the game was first released, because the game was so big and they wanted to work on load times and textures and other stuff, they released on the eShop. They released several data packs, and those data packs specifically increase the load time, increase some texture qualities, and a few other odds and ends. But because the eShop is shut down, if you didn't get them back before the eShop shut down last year, you're stuck without them. Now, it's not horrible without them by any means, but it does mean that I get a nice little performance boost because I have an external hard drive attached to my system than others. Homework sucks. Why does homework suck? Also, just because the game audio is running now, is the game audio alright, or is it overpowering? It looks like it might be a little loud. But, I guess which part of homework is sucking? Feel like the audio is fine? Okay, good. Well, that's the important part, but One of the things that the later, like Xenoblade 2 and Xenoblade 3, and then when they went back and did Xenoblade 1 Definitive, one of the things that they did is they specifically put in audio sliders so you can control like background audio, voice audio leveling, because they had a very bad habit in the original Xenoblade and X where the music will just overpower the dialogue. So I know the audio can be a little screwy. Anyway, I think that's about enough stalling. Game is nice and updated. We know which file we're using from here on out. Let's have a new game where everything goes wrong immediately. All right, it actually makes you set a couple of the settings right away. All right, brightness fine, power down, disabled. Yes. Headgear I'll leave on for now because I can fix that later if I don't like it. Do I actually get to fiddle with the rest right away? I don't think so. Why is it acting like the controller cannot do thing? It's not literally demanding the tablet, is it? Shouldn't. Nope. Okay. When playing online, your profile will be shared. There will be robots. But first, space. I will try to do good, not to peanut gallery over the cutscenes too hard. So FYI, that plaque is actually something we have sent out into space as a species. I kind of loved the fact that they used it as a detail. They always like to attach just enough realism, and I do like that. Anyway.
July 2054 AD. The Earth was caught in a great battle between unknown alien forces. Their weapons were terrifying and powerful beyond human reckoning. Our planet was overwhelmed, its surface reduced to ash and rubble in the blink of an eye. The coalition government knew the war was coming. In response, they prepared the Earth-Life Colonization Project, Project Exodus. Interstellar arcs were launched all across the planet, from every major city on Earth. Bravely, we leapt from our cradle, our home for the last 4.5 billion years. But most of the arcs never even made it out of the atmosphere. Only a small handful managed to escape. Among them was our ship, the White Whale. After leaving Earth behind, we spent 2 years wandering in space, searching. We thought of ourselves as the lucky ones, the pioneers who would settle a new world. But our past caught up with us, literally. The alien blitz was unrelenting. If not for the efforts of a lone hero, we would never have survived. Our ship took heavy damage. We lost control. With our flight systems down, the White Whale was pulled into the gravitational field of a nearby planet, its hull shattering and breaking to pieces as we plummeted toward the surface. Since then, 2 months have passed.
So yeah, opening sequence is Earth explodes. We are the leftovers. Welcome to character customization. It's one of the reasons I just love the opening of the game so much, because it's just flat out. But by the way, Earth just got ruined. Just flat out curb stomped because it got caught in between two forces it had no hope of dealing with. Alright. Bye. There we go. D-pad. So, yeah, you actually get... That's what you get, Earth. Yep. Mm-hmm. We fucked around and we found out that we were not ready for this. So, you do have several presets. I actually forgot you have to use the D-pad for this, for a lot of this. I do appreciate several of them. I think I used this one as part of my preset early on. But here's where we're going to spend the next little bit. Trying to figure out where I want to start. Because basically once you pick your start, you're able to change up a lot. So let's go over there. And it will move back and forth as you go. So back at no. Yes, please. Alright. Is it that you have to go in order? I forget. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, it's you pretty much have to go in order. That's part of it. Yeah, I do appreciate the customization. Now, open comment. There's 2 things they tweaked in the customization outside of Japan, and that is they made it so that you couldn't quite be as small physically, because that was kind of when there was that early outcry of like, oh, everyone, you know, stop putting lollies in games and stuff like that. So they raised the lower limit for like your height a little bit, and then this is a personal gripe. There was a second slider on this screen in Japan. I'll give you one guess what it did besides height. And it kind of irks me that they took it away. But yeah, there was a boob slider, and they took it away. It made me very sad. Anyway. Tall girl. That's hollow field. I don't want hollow field. I want skin color. How far do we go? Yeah, there we go. Like you can see, they took away the boob slider for no known reason. But yeah, I appreciate that. Like most of the settings is like how human do you want to be, but then they do have like, okay, there are some unusual skin colors mixed in here just in case you want to go full gremlin. You know, but by and large they did pretty good. Let's go with this one. Freckles, always. Oops, I didn't select it. Come back. Give me my Frex. Okay, and there are several MMOs where you can make what literally some of my friends just call creatures, because you have so much control that you can make things that have no semblance to humanity or almost any bipedal creature you can think of. There are no waffles here, Damien, but thank you for coming by. Alright. I honestly don't remember. Oh, that's right. It's like the blush. That's right. I'll do a little bit. No scar. That one's just gonna get lost. You know, I think I'll put one. I think I'll do a beauty mark. It had everything, and then we were bamboozled. Oh, White Knight, yes. Okay, fun fact: I have both releases for White Knight Chronicles sitting on my PS3 shelf, which kind of the release for 2 kind of made me sad because I appreciate that they literally just included the original game, but with a bunch of the changes that they updated. But at the same time, it's like, but then why did I buy the first one? And the real answer is you bought the first one because you didn't have any clue there was a sequel at the time. Alright. Did that. Okay. Need to go down. There we go. Hairstyle. So they're a little limited in some of the styles, I will admit. But there's still some cute ones in here. I wonder if there's one that's kind of similar to what I actually have right now. This would be surprisingly close if it was a little longer. That's a little too messy. Oh, actually, that's almost the right length, even. Alright. Do we want the cowlick? Nah. Nope. Goodbye. Where's my hammer button? There it is. Goodbye. Book does a peek. Hello, peek. I refuse to be famous for those reasons. Alright. Alright. Do I make this oddly similar to my original character? Or do I go more realistic? Because like I have a habit of making like Irish redheads. Just kind of. But you know what? Let's find blonde. Let's see if they do some good blondes. Remember what I said about color shades? They really weren't afraid to give you color options. You are allowed to be as anime waifu as you want. I would, considering I've seen your pictures book, I imagine you very much would have turned heads, because you still do. Okay. I mean, yes, enjoy myself, but it's like if I just make the same character I essentially made like 7-8 years ago, that seems a little silly. So let me see about changing it up a little. Do not. No, I don't want green. Maybe? Yeah. Go for that. Wait. So why is there a roots and tips color? And then immediately roots color? You're here? You might end up napping and lurking? Okay. Aww. So the bad news is you literally missed the opening cutscene, but so far only the opening cutscene, so I can share that later. Short version, Earth exploded. We're what's left. Okay, we can just leave that alone, because that's going to change everything if I fiddle with it. You can play with some color, little streaks of color if you feel like it. Actually, hold on. Actually, the green looked kind of like emerald green. Actually, looked kind of cute. Why not? Do a little splash of color in there. No, don't all fall asleep. Alright. That's hair. Eyes. So I'm gonna point out I love several of the eyes. You can have fairly normal, like anime eyes. You have some more detailed eyes. Oh, I forgot about those. Those were really cute. You can go like kind of creepy, dragony. There's some fun ones in here. There's a two-tone one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for that one. Pick color. That's too dark. That is way too bright. Come on. Is muddy green too much to ask for, apparently? Eh. Yeah, that's fine. You can give it some highlights if you want, or you can leave it the same to have it all blend in. And I lost track on the color I picked. It was the top row, third green. So yeah, actually I'll give it a little speck of darker shade there. Helps them pop a bit. Oh snap! Wow. It's not that green's my favorite color. Purple's actually my favorite color, but I actually have green eyes and kind of like dirty blonde hair, so kind of going for more sci-fi tinky as opposed to just character. I'm gonna have to edit that later, because if I change it now, it literally creates a whole second stream file, and I don't want to do that. Okay. So that's eyes. And you can actually fiddle with like legit all the makeup. Oh, nope. Flat. Wait, why did that? Oh, okay. Eyeshadow. No. I kind of like that one. I thought if you changed the titles, it just started a whole new VOD. Look, sometimes you just need space makeup. I tend to do nude shades for lips most of the time. There we go. Oh yeah, actual face paints. It keeps the void. Okay, then I if you're telling me the truth, I will fix it real fast. Boop. Oh yeah, yep, all about the nudes. There's no quote bot on here. You can't get me. I say that now. One of you is going to clip it, aren't you? Anyway, moving on. Never given you multiple. Yeah, but you don't fiddle with your stream title most of the time. You'll change categories sometimes, but I don't think you change your stream title. Anyway, so you can get. They just label it all face paint, but it's kind of like different tattoos. Different, well, kind of. Some of it is closer to face paint, you know. Most games I don't use those, partially because it's really hard to get one that like looks neat without being overbearing. Also, there is a way to change some of these later as part of a side quest. But that comes fairly far in, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm mostly just showing off some of the different things that are there. Be not afraid. I do feel like some of these are like way too much, but then at the same time I'll look at this butterfly one and be like, okay, I would almost do that one just for the WTF factor. But I also like low-key love, it feels like this one for the N4, like that just to me that just screams they wanted to throw in a Mass Effect reference without getting caught. Anyway, no face paint for me. Now, here's one of the things I absolutely love. And there are some games that do this these days, but not a lot. And that is, they actually name, not only do they give a type of voice that you can pick, they tell you who the damn actors are. So if you have a favorite actor or you really like the tone to it, you know who you're actually going to sound like. Now I'm trying to remember. Yeah, there we go. Sample voice. So, like.
Huh? Shall we? Huh? They never stood a chance. They never stood a chance. Shall we? They never stood a chance. Nice job. Hey there. Here we go. Huh. Hey there. Shall we? Huh. Oh! I've lost my balance. Huh. Huh.
What do you say? Hup. We did great. Here goes.
We sure owned them.
Oh, all right. Let's murderate them.
Hey, hey.
Hup. Hup. What?
Shall we then?
Hup. I've lost my balance.
Also,
Hello?
fun fact Classic, you'll notice, has a British voice, whereas all the others are American English. The reason why that listing is named Classic is that that's a voice actor from the original Xenoblade games, and they wanted to include her as an option as an homage.
Let's go. Huh? Just tell me what to do.
Honestly,
Shall we?
look, we're going to be mature about things. I mean, I know which one you're going to pick, Musk, every time. No, if they're British, it's classic English, not classic American. Alright, so that is your basic tutorial. Well, not tutorial, your basic character creation. And it's like, when you realize that this is a Wii U game from a previous console that's 9 years old, they managed to do a lot for a console game. Partially because I already had a good idea what I wanted.
Attention, external access confirmed. Disengaging stasis in 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
When I first played the game, I think I was in that screen for about an hour and a half. So, yep, you as the player character. This is your introduction to the game. Earth explodes, and then you just get this.
Hey there. Looks like you're all in one piece. Careful. Just take it nice and slow, okay? Your senses will need time to reactivate.
I mean, the ship broke apart in the atmosphere. Not the majority of the ship did not make it to the surface. And the pieces that did, well, like this. You were in long-term stasis because it
Your
was
pod is
expected to
the
be a
only
long
one
travel.
around that landed intact. Good thing I found you. My name's Elma. You want to tell me yours? You don't even remember your own name? It must be the stasis hangover. That's not good. Just try and focus, all right?
Oh crap, that's actually that's actually up on the tablet. Stretch. So the bad news is
Good,
there
there we
are
go.
just flat out
What
points
else you
where I
after?
have to use the tablet, and there's no way to capture that without
It'll come.
real
In the
specialty stuff.
meantime, I'll get
But
you up to speed here as best I can.
95% I'll be able to do here on the
How are
main
your
screen.
limbs? Can you move?
Have a drink. Okie dokie. I like how your options to can you move is move or move. Now you actually, like, they do tell you, like, you're going to react a little differently, but
We'll take it easy while you shake the stasis out of your system. One step at a time, all right? First things first, you'll be needing a weapon. There you go. All right, let's get going.
I have no idea who you are. Have a gun. They do go and they do give. There's no timer on the screen. Oh no! No! Don't make me. I can. I can lock it down if I have to. Either that, or you're going to make me like take a ton of bathroom breaks. Yeah, the Elma's advice. Those are just your little tutorial screens. They'll tell you to pay attention, look around. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about settings too much because what am I getting caught on over here? Oh, the rocks. Uh, yes, there's in-game achievements. I don't want to be scary. I just sometimes have to be firm. I'm the stream mom. But yeah, the minimap, thankfully, is always set to north, so it doesn't rotate because that actually like disorients me in other games. What was it? God, I actually had to look at the preview. I don't remember what jump was. Boing! There we go. And you'll notice you have switch weapon because you've got melee and distance.
Most of the white whale's life pods didn't survive the crash, like this one.
You do
You're one
have
of the
big jump.
lucky few. Right. You don't even remember the white whale, do you? You know, the L002? The ship we escaped Earth on? You remember Earth, right? Planet Earth. Your homeworld. Or rather, it used to be anyway.
No melee gun. You have melee and you
Unfortunately,
have gun.
it was caught in a battle between two alien forces. And destroyed. Ring any bells? Don't feel bad. It's one memory I'd like to forget. I know. It's been following me for a while now. I didn't want to alarm you, but we're going to need to defend ourselves. You up to the task?
Here comes the Swano music. You can initiate combat by targeting an enemy and drawing your weapon. What do you say we give it a whirl? I'm here to back you up, so feel free to experiment. Target R. Draw. Target, then A.
I'll start rings at range. Follow my target in sight. Shadow strike. Nice. Move in and let's dance, hammer.
Oh yeah, I did have a topple on here.
Flame grenade.
Mm-hmm.
You're not half bad. There's plenty of work back in the city for someone who knows how to handle a weapon, you know.
The confident protagonist route and the oh god, you want me to put in effort?
Hey, I'm not trying to pressure you into anything, alright? It'll be your decision in the end. But anyway, we can talk more details later. For now, let's keep moving.
Get some loot from the enemy, which, if I remember right, that might actually be. That actually might be a slightly better weapon than I start with. Okay, no, the difference is, okay, so there's a lot of stats on the weapons here, as you can see. The big thing that's different on these two is you see the stability stat. As someone with a superiority complex and a metaphorical bleeding heart, you would go with confident. See, I have a bleeding heart and a inferiority complex, so not always as well. But yeah, the big thing is you can see that the attack is slightly higher, literally by 1 point. But one of the big things that it does different is you see stability plus or minus 12 on the one that is currently equipped versus the one I'm looking at. Stability is how much swing in what the damage can roll. So if something has a very small stability range, you're going to be hitting that default attack way more often. So it's not great, but it is slightly better than what we've got. Oh, wait. I am an idiot. It has a level requirement. I forgot about that. So you can also see you have to be level 3 to use this weapon versus the level 1 we started with. But yes, you start with some very basic set of equipment, all level 1. Yeah, makes it more or less consistent. So like late game when you have a whole bunch of different weapons and stuff to set up, you can either choose to basically have like really high attack but you have a higher chance of things swinging, or you can have a lower attack but you're really consistent about it. So it adds up and opens up some different play styles. I believe these are interactables. Yes. And you'll see a lot of the little blue gems are basically the collectibles, letting you know there's things to grab out in the field. Some of them will be useful. Some of them are basically sell items for junk. Just depends. And then from there, you can really decide if you want to get aggressive. Like we have a bunch of glittering bugs through here we can fight and level up a little bit, or we can charge right along. For the opening bit, I'm mostly going to just jump story to story unless I get in trouble.
But I won't stop there.
Because as you can see, even interactables and stuff do give you XP. It is a rule to hoard, but I'm also trying to... I want to minimize the few areas that there's a grind early on, if I can. Preach is now following! It's apparently taken a long time, but I am now worthy because I have the power of space robot anime on my side. Okay, this is also another thing. You'll notice these enemies up ahead have icons on them. The eyeball means if they see you, they will attack. Whereas all those enemies we walked past a minute ago, they had no icons, so they are free to just let you be as long as you don't attack them. But these aren't going to be so friendly. So we're just going to start a little early. You can switch between your weapons at will. You can see I pulled out my dagger here. I don't have a top. Oh, I do have a top already. Boom! So you'll see Elma and my character, they'll shout tips or advice, sometimes even commands, back and forth to each other. By following those pieces of advice, one, that's how you set up combos, but two, that's also how you get what's referred to as soul voice in the game.
Nice work.
And soul voice is basically how you heal, because by basically doing actions that the party member wants, you essentially build your affinity with them and you get a small amount of HP back. So soul voice can get really hectic, but trying to follow it where you can also helps keep your party topped off. Because everyone uses the same weapon all the time in Xenoblade 1.
Rain's starting to let up, just in time for sunrise. Follow me. I promise you're gonna love this.
It was literally this cutscene where I was like, okay, I was already invested because Earth went kaboom, but this cutscene is like, okay, this game is gorgeous. You can fight that thing, by the way. It won't go well right now, but you can fight that thing.
wild, huh? They're all indigenous, as far as we can tell. We need to learn to play nice with these guys if we're going to try and coexist together.
But if you kill them all, there's nothing left.
We call this planet Mira. You won't find it on any star chart. But it's our new home. Recognize the habitat unit? That's where we're headed. Watch yourself. That first step's a doozy. We can jump if you like. You could handle the fall. But the indigents down there are another story. Some big, some mean, all nasty. Given our options, the high road here would be the safer way to go, relatively speaking. That said, whichever way you want to go, I'll follow your lead. You decide.
If you want to reach the habitat before sundown, we'll need to pick up the pace and sprint. Sprinting is good for times you need to get somewhere in a hurry, but when you need to break out of a especially hairy situation. So that is true. Most enemies have an area they will not leave, so if you are truly getting stomped, making a break for it can be absolutely a valid tactic. I'm going to take the high road because, frankly, that gives you a little more thing. So you'll see this is a base camp. It's handled by one of the many divisions that work in the city. This one is the curators. You can actually talk and interact with them. Elma is a known explorer, so they kind of are like, oh, you must be one of the new ones that she's been trying to hunt down. They're not. They aren't aggressive. But I will get the loot. Curators don't sound suspicious at all, but they're curating. Although I will point out, back up the hill for a second. Yeah, when your new friend says you can jump, you can, yes. But there's also, like she said, there's level 4s and 5s and 6s down there. It's not going to be easy, but you can fight them at this level. There's some early decent loot down there if you wander early. I think I fell down by accident, if I remember right. You'll see there's a clock checking the weather and the time. Now that one's going to attack me.
Shall we? Let's see what you've got.
Physical res.
Engaging. Lay down some fire for me. I have the shot. Fire it.
So you'll see a lot like Xenoblade 1. You use a skill and it goes on just an automatic cooldown. You have to wait for it to come back up before you can use it again.
Nice work. Very well. They're off guard. Assault melee attack. Sliding slinger. Scream edge. Melee attack.
It's not like some of the later games. Almost bedtime, you go by now? Okay, bye Preach.
Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike. Chrome armor. Upper hand. Slide nice. Move in and do some damage.
Whoops.
Shadow strike.
Hey Elma, can you kill it? Thank you. So if you go down, this is actually a really good example. When you go down, if the party can finish the fight before the 30-second timer that starts when you go down happens, you just get right back up and you will heal out of combat. So like, see, my HP's back up now. I did make an oopsie. One of the other things that happened in that fight is you heard Elma say we destroyed an appendage, and you'll notice I got extra loot from that enemy. Certain enemies, most enemies rather, if you see this reticule here where it has its own, because the enemy HP is up top, but then you'll notice there's a gauge tracking that part of the enemy. If that gauge is depleted, that part breaks, and you can get loot specific to that part of the enemy. In some cases, this can also disable enemies. So like if the enemy has a really big punch and you break the arm, they can't use the punch or the punch becomes way less effective. So it has a ton of these little interlocking systems. And one thing that also adds up is enemy size matters. So like that may be a level 5 enemy, which is already pretty high for where we are. But the fact that it is level 5 and a large enemy compared to us means it will hit like an even bigger truck.
Very well. Let's see what you've got. Sliding slinger. Scream edge.
So most of the time, unless you're trying to do specific builds, you're kind of going to wait to use your specials if they get called for, unless you just really need that extra damage right this second.
Spectacularly done. Nice work.
So yeah, like we broke the back end of the monster, so we got a tail. You'll also see, like right there, my class leveled up. Class, first off, there's a whole tree. And eventually you can mix and match. But you can see that there's several arts you get from that class. But right now, because I'm only a few levels, I've only got a few of them. As I level up, I'll continue to get them. And you can, eventually, because I'm not going to fiddle with it a ton tonight, but eventually you can control like what soul voices you want to try and chase, what kind and what their effects are. So you can, again, there's a ton of customization and setup in this game if you choose to go down that rabbit hole, and it can lead to some really, really broken builds. Hi, Mr. Piggy. I'm going to bypass you for the moment. Yeah, if I remember right, I want to say... Yeah. So, like, comparing real fast, you have rabbit holes. There's a lot to go down if you chase it. But like you can see, right now I'm level 3, and my class is rank 4. And if you look at Elma, you can see that she's level 5 and rank 3. So eventually, all those levels and pieces matter because you're also eventually able to start mixing and matching stuff from classes as things go on. Little one's gonna see me no matter what.
Don't have to be like this.
Yep.
I'll start things in range. Follow my lead. Shadow strike. Target in sight.
Now some skills, like this one I just got, make you change weapons. So if I use this,
Slit edge.
I just grab my dagger.
Melee strikes. Assault hammer.
Or using the other one flips me back to rifle automatically because it's smacking him with the rifle.
Slide knife. Move in and do good damage. Nice force. Shadow strike. Success. Now move in. Split edge. Upper hand. Package destroyed.
Yeah, Elma is not quite a carry, but very close early on.
We got it. Let's move.
Ooh. Got a armor piece out of that one. It probably has a level requirement, so like I probably can't touch it. Most of the time, your drops early on aren't going to matter a ton, but they will let you look. Like, actually I am level 3 now, so see, like, I can use the rifle I found. That's a better knife, and it is level 1, so that's fine. Defense, level 2. And you will see all your equipment does affect your appearance here. Oh, that's way more defense. But yeah, sometimes the mix and match gets a little weird. Like you can see here, now I have a robot arm for, well, not a robot arm, but the arm has more mechanical bits to it. Very soon, you get the ability to eventually you get to do both. You can have an appearance set versus your actual armor. Actually, that may be already there. Submenu? Yeah, there we go. Fashion gear. If you have an item, you can put it, as long as you aren't wearing it, you can put it in the fashion. And as long as it's in your fashion slot, that's what you will look like no matter what. The trade-off is you actually have to have the item in your inventory, so you can't just be like, well, I picked this item up at the start of the game and I want it. It's like, no, you need to, if you sold that item or dismantled it, well, now you're out of luck unless you get a new version. But the inventory is also really, really forgiving, so it's not super big deal. But like, if you want Elma to look like Elma for the entire game, then shortly after, you're going to want to have her in. You put a lot of the characters you want to put in their starter armor as their fashion gear, because otherwise you eventually just look like a hodgepodge creature very fast. But yeah, like all the weapons, they'll have different colors, they'll have slightly different tweaked designs. All the armors are either, they have chunks of different designs, and then some of them will just be recolors as they like higher tier. So there's so many little things about handling this game the way you want to handle it. Also, something's flying overhead. Where'd you go, bird? Alright, anyway. We're gonna take the high road and get our way back over to the city. Because that's the next major event. As I get distracted immediately. But yeah, like that shadow earlier that was a bird. Yeah, that's because there's actually a bird. And dear God, it's level 24, so let's not mess with it. You're not winning that fight right now. I think the first enemy that's going to force us to fight's level 5? Question mark? Yeah, like right up there, level 22. Boing! You can do little hop, big hop. I am not shooting the level 24 bird. I'm level 3. I'm close to 4. I'd like to at least be level 4 before the event kicks off. Because I want to say the next enemy, big enemy is level 5. Let's kill a couple bugs.
It didn't have to be like this. I'm attacking! Move in! Shadow strike! Assault hammer! Lightning slinger! Now, melee attacks! Ready? Too bad! Reinforcements! Watch out!
So yeah, it's a little MMO-y, and especially in that a lot of your early on is kind of just standing around. I'm taking a lot of heat from both of them.
I won't stop this combat! Chrome armor! We must be relentless! That's it!
You can see I healed up there because I used the requested melee attack.
Exhilarating. I'm ready. Flame grenade! Upper hand. Sliding. Enemy destroyed.
Let's just finish it off.
Too bad. Spectacularly done. We got it. Let's move.
There we go. Level 4. I don't feel on a scale of 1 to 10 how much cheese potential is in the game. Spoilers. The final, like, post-game super bosses go up to level 99, if I remember correctly. The player level stops at 60. One of the most common builds for that basically just makes you untouchable. Because you literally just basically spam evasion while beating the crap out of it. So, late game especially, massive cheeseability. Early game, not a lot. Mid game, some cheese because there are ways to start punching above your weight, but you have to be a little careful with it.
Looks a lot bigger up close, doesn't it? And this was just the habitat unit. The white whale was one hell of a ship. Until it all came crashing down, at least. That's the west gate. It's closed off now for security reasons. But we've repurposed a freight elevator that will get us inside.
And this is why I wanted to level up just a bit.
Rexes. Riled. We can't leave them roaming here. Not this close to the gate. We're gonna have to take them down. You ready? I'm attacking! Move in! Now, it's my turn!
Yeah, let me upgrade my defense. Need to get one of these out of the equation as fast as possible. Alright, one down.
Move in and keep the rhythm going. See how you like this? Sliding. Strength comes from experience.
Oh, I actually took down the big one first. Good me! Keep my defense buffed.
Chrome armor. Move in and strike.
Oh god.
Flame grenade. No whining. We're going in.
Okay. Whew. Can't tell if cute or scary. Why not both?
It's a shame we had to settle near so much
Big
water.
alien doggo, essentially.
Luckily, some species aren't so hostile, but they aren't necessarily friendly either. I've come to learn that there's a fine line between self-defense and provoking a fight. We need to walk that line. All right, let's head in. Who knows? Maybe seeing the inside will jog your memory.
I'd say they're creepy. There's a whole category of creepy cute being a thing. Get some pants. Are they any better? Better than first stat. Yep. Resist stagger. Ooh. Yeah, that's not bad at all, actually. Almost the same, yeah, practically the same stats, but the fact that it increases my ranged attack is very good. I'll take that over Humanoid Slayer. Are loot drops fixed? No. Now each enemy type has certain windows where it's like, but by and large, so like fighting a level 1 or a level 3 enemy of type X will result in the following ranges. Now late game, so like to an extent they are fixed in that the table is limited, but like you can kill the same thing 5 times and get different things on the table. You're not just going to get one thing all the time. Toxic advice number 1, lesson 2. Go into the building, this big scary building. So this detail actually took me a while to figure out, and then I thought it was really cool. So when we see the ring and it's descending, it has this like blue gel pack around it. It shows that when it landed, basically the gel goes off into that crystalline stuff, and very MMO coded. It turned into that crystalline stuff in order essentially to adhere the habitation ring in place to ensure that it was stable. But then you can also see from the gate here, they've been mining it both to have access to the gate that was part of in the same area, and then also to retrieve some of the material as a resource. I thought it was a really cool little detail. Lots of world building for the sake of design.
Thanks.
Yep, there we go. New friend. But yeah, this one of the things that Monolith always does really well is sense of scale. But like you can see, like we walked over that land bridge over there, right around the edge of the building. And right now we're only partway up the outside wall of the ring. I actually got lost trying to find the lift the first time. Yeah, no, that's something they do very well across all of the Xenoblade games. Is sense of scale is just amazing. When something needs to be appropriately huge, it's there.
Well, here we are. Not too shabby, huh? For a giant beached spaceship, anyway. But, like it or not, this place is our home now. We took the name from the city it was modeled after back on Earth. We call it New Los Angeles. Welcome to NLA.
I mean, if the murder goes wrong in heels, you just take the heel off and shank them with it, right?
And so it was that another survivor came to join our band of refugees. Together, we resolved to forge a new way of life here on Mira, come what may.
I'm a little sad I'm going to start seeing robots right after Breach
New
went to bed,
LA
though.
was our beautiful lie to ourselves. Truth is, we were adrift, heading into the unknown. Our native home was gone, swallowed in a shroud of light. And our future was uncertain. We had no idea what fate lay in store for us. Only that we had to keep living in order to see it.
Title drop! Oh, I will look very fancy later. Right now, this is just the I need stats time. Could the dome potentially reclose? You mean the top part that was shielded? No, that system basically gets turned off after the
How about a
landing
quick tour of the facilities
in
to
order to
refresh your
save
memory?
power, because it doesn't have the ship's reactor anymore.
Let's start with your living quarters. Follow me.
Brave citizens of New Los Angeles, good day. This is your Director General, Maurice Chausson. Today, I once again come to you with news I am truly delighted to share. Yesterday, we repatriated 10 more White Whale crew members. These fellow pioneers will rejoin our ranks as citizens of NLA, bringing with them skills and know-how that will bolster our ability to survive and indeed flourish here in our new home. This, of course, is only the latest success in our continuing efforts.
Director General?
Part of my
Since when?
initiative for the rescue and recovery of
2 days ago,
all
ma'am.
our brothers and sisters. I stand here truly
From political aide to director general in just a few weeks. At this rate, he'll be emperor by next month.
for a better NLA and a better
Irina? Gwyn?
Nice work out there, ma'am.
Do you wonder why two military-looking people would call someone ma'am? Or do you ask who the heck these people are?
Right. Introductions. Irina Akulov, Gwyn Evans.
This one of the survivors, Colonel?
The survivor. I only found a single pod intact at Starfall Basin.
Wait, what? What happened to 10 more crew members?
Come on, seriously? Shosan was never one to let the truth get in the way of a good speech. Still, every last survivor counts. You can call me Irina. I'm with the Interceptors.
Me too. Same division. You can call me Mr. Evans. Or just Gwyn.
The three of us were in the Coalition forces together. Specifically, the Special Operations Heavy Armor Training Unit, aka the Skeleton Crew. I was a colonel and Irina a lieutenant. Gwyn was a more recent recruit. Of course, I keep telling them we don't need those old ranks anymore now that we're here.
You're still Colonel to me, ma'am. No reorg will ever change that. And that's not about chain of command either. It's about respect. You've earned it.
And the award for Best Ass Kiss goes to...
Well, I'd remind you both the ma'ams aren't necessary if I thought you'd listen.
All right, ma'am. We should be getting back to work. Until next time, Colonel.
Right. We should be going too. The administrative district isn't far. That's where you'll be calling home. For now, anyway.
Not sure you like what's his face? He's a goober. He means well, but he's a bit of a goof. And we'll get our next cutscene pretty much immediately. Also, boing, robot.
Damn it!
Look, I know what exhaust smells like, and it was exhaust in the cockpit. Just check the ductwork, would ya?
Oh, I'm checking. I just seriously doubt... Hey, look at that! The intake exhaust bypass is reversed. Oh man, it's a good thing I caught that.
You caught that. You're the one who cleared me to fly.
Everything okay? It's not like you to flub a flight check, Lynn. Good thing you had a rugged pilot like Doug at the controls.
The mechs
Oh,
robots
hey, Emma.
remind you of the
How'd it go out there?
I guess machines?
And would this be one of the you-know-whos? Cool.
Is that from a different
Well,
series, or are you
what do
talking about
do?
the
Mechanic and top all-around fix-it guy like Lynn.
artifices from Xenoblade 2? Oh, my leg is all itchy. Mm. Mm. Are you more worried? The Xeno 2 ones, yeah, those are artifices. Oddly enough, I don't think they have the same mechanical designer for X as they did in the later in Xenoblade 2. I'd have to look that up. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, you can ask what happened to the robot. Or you can ask like who let this sassy child in?
Yeah. Well, that, doesn't usually happen.
We know it doesn't, Lynn. Look, I know what you're thinking. But believe me, young as she may look, and yes, she is young, she's actually one of our top talents.
Most of the time, that is. Most of the time.
Anyway, you guys heading back to the barracks?
Yeah. Why do you ask?
As long as you're here, why don't I take you on the transport? It's a great way to see the city. I'll give you the grand tour.
That sounds like a great idea.
Alright, Doug, I think that'll be all for today. You can clean up here and dock the Skell.
What?
Don't mind the exhaust. I'll take care of it tomorrow.
Don't mind it? Wait, why am I cleaning up your mess in the first place? Lynn! Lynn!
So, in general, you can have a 3-person party or a 4-person party. You will also notice several of them get flagged as cannot be removed. In general, Elma, Lynn, and protagonist is generally the default for most story missions. And then generally one other character that shows up for various reasons. So you'll notice, like in the party screen, or that's not the screen I'm thinking of, but active members. You can see their level, their class, and what rank their class is. So, like Elma is their level 6, rank 4, Full Metal Jaguar. Lynn is a level 5, rank 3 Shield Trooper. She is your tank by general default purposes. Full Metal Jaguar tends to be a mix of damage and condition builds. Drifter is a little bit of everything because you haven't started specializing yet. That's why the class chart starts at Drifter and bridges out into different pieces, depending what you feel like doing. Like you can see, some defenses, HP and melee bonuses. It builds up over time. When I first played, I went for... I have to check the weapons. Not assault rifle. Yeah, I went for Partisan Eagle and Astral Crusader as my classes right away because it's a spear and a sniper rifle. Those are my 2 favorite weapons, and they give them to me in a class. I had to do it. Enforcer is generally for the more support builds, but can also be really crazy if run loose. ideally pretty fast if you're wanting... Actually, no, you can't get that first. There we are. Ideally, if you're wanting to get some of the broken stuff really fast, you would want to go into Commando and over to Full Metal Jaguar, because some of the skills you get from that are super useful for later stuff. There we go. In particular, this. That is your evade everything nearby. If you get that high enough and start spamming it, that is what lets you just avoid so much damage in the game. Yeah, dual gun, dual sword. Moose wants to be a Full Metal Jaguar. But yeah, the thing with Partisan Eagle is that its emphasis is on ranged through the sniper. Your javelin is kind of your backup. And then you get a bonus to range and accuracy when you hit the rank 10. Only attack? I mean, if you wanted only attack... oh no, this is for the well-balanced. Yeah, if you wanted to go just crazy attack, it kind of boils down to if you want to focus melee or ranged. If you're ranged, go Partisan Eagle. If you want melee, you go into the Winged Viper. However, I'm going to take a short restroom break, so I shall be back in just a few minutes. back. Put a little lotion on my legs to stop the itchy fit, hopefully. See, I saw there was a couple messages. We've got, once again, goes with Big Spear. Yes, I am very partial to pull anywhere I get a chance to use a pole arm style weapon. That tends to be what I'm going to go for because I just think they're really cool weapons most of the time. Let's see. Grabbing water. Thank you, good streamer. Aw, thank you. Fun. Thank you very much. Oh, controller went to sleep. Wakey, wakey. Yeah, just like polearm style weapons, whether they're spears or like naginatas or other those have always been kind of one of my my main favorite design because they tend to have, they kind of get to mix things up because they've got some reach, but they can also be very close weapons. But it's very easy for there to be like flourish and some style to them, and I've always appreciated that. But yeah, if I wanted to try and cheese things, like I said, I would try and beeline for Full Metal Jaguar just because the rank 10 to master, that is at that point, mastery means you can bring skills from that class. Wakey wakey. I don't think you've ever said I am adorable, but I always, oh, how do I put it? I like to keep a little bit of that childlike energy and sense of wonder when I'm going around on things, especially when it's things I get really interested in. And like I've said before, Xenoblade is definitely one of those things. I love the fact that it goes hard into the sci-fi while also being fantasy. And whereas my mom has put it previously, you're 30 plus going on 13. But yeah, that's one of the things with the classes is it changes out what your focus is on early. So like if you want to be a more comfy play style, you'll probably go into Striker because that gives you some more defensive functions if you go for Shield Trooper, but more specifically, Samurai Gunner and Duelist is basically like your default class. It's like, because you start off with Assault Rifle and Knife, and you go to Assault Rifle and Longsword if you take the Samurai Gunner. So you'll notice one of the other big things is your use of skill slots. Those are abilities you get to bring over from other classes. And so early on, you're going to have not a lot of skill slots. But later, once you're able to kind of mix and match and bring what you want, it can be really advantageous to pick some of the other late game classes that have multiple slots. Or even if you're going full tilt on skills, you can go back to Drifter and have 5 different skill slots. So, because you'll see like Drifter has no skills. But once you start bringing in all the skills from everything else, having 5 slots to work with out the gate, pretty big. Like I said, lots of customization and mix match as you get going. So, alright. We're supposed to go over to the car. It feels weird because I can place where things are going to come later. And it's like, oh, this is where that happens. This is where this happens. Our transport, yes? Yes.
can see everything from up here.
It beats walking, that's for sure.
The best way to see NLA. I never get tired of this view. It's like a different city every time.
It's certainly come a long way in the last few weeks. There's still so much to be done.
One day at a time.
Speaking of which, we don't really have time for a full pleasure cruise here. Why don't you give us the express tour, Lynn? Just the highlights.
Okay, you got it. New LA is divided into 4 districts. We departed from the industrial district, where Doug and I were conducting the flight test. It has food production, skill development, you know, industries and stuff.
It's also where the West Gate is located, remember? Expect to pass through there fairly often. The only other gate out of the city is in the administrative district. I'm skipping ahead.
Next is the commercial district. Restaurants, galleries, cafes, clothing, groceries, you name it. It's a veritable shopping paradise.
The CD is the closest thing to a downtown we've got. It can actually get pretty crowded sometimes.
Well, by NLA standards anyway. Day or night, the best and only bargains on the planet. To your right, the residential district. Housing, housing, and more housing. Well, plus a nice park and the cathedral.
If you're ever looking for quiet time alone, or want to relax and unwind with a good book, that's the spot.
Right? The park is my favorite place to just zone out and chill. And last but not least, our destination, the administrative district, the nerve center at the heart of NLA. Note the distinct dual-level structure here. The upper level holds our administrative tower, home to Blade HQ and the government. Not to mention Armory Alley as well as the barracks where we live. The lower level there is a hangar complex for Skell maintenance and repairs. And this concludes our tour. We will be landing shortly.
Thanks, Lynn. We'll save the rest of orientation for once we're back at the barracks.
What's the 60% thingy indicate? Good question that they have not answered yet in game, and I'm not getting ahead of myself with.
Enjoy your stay in the administrative district, and thank you for flying Linley Airlines.
Right. Let's get you over to the barracks. Then I should file my report. They'll be eager to hear the details on how I found you, I'm sure.
Well then, we better not keep them waiting. The barracks are pretty close, actually. They're set up just behind the giant blade tower here. That road there wraps around the left side and leads right to it.
We'll pass through Armory Alley, but let's not get sidetracked, okay?
I
We can check
mean,
it out
you
later.
can try and suss it out. It is important. That's all I'll say. Oh, nope. Level too high. Okay. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. These become your vendors later on for pretty much all the things you want to buy. But as said, getting slightly ahead of ourselves.
And here we are, the Blade Barracks. Consider yourself our guest until we finish getting you registered. Feel free to come and go as you please.
I think I can answer that one. So, you must be the latest rescue.
Secretary Nagi!
Ms. Ku. Chipper as always, I see.
What can I say? Pep is my middle name.
I ran into Doug Barrett on the way here, and he didn't seem quite so upbeat. Anything about today's flight I should know?
No. Nothing to worry about.
Good. Be sure it stays that way. More importantly, Elma, you found another one. Excellent work.
You know, blades are important. I mean,
Just
it's
doing my
Blade
job, Mr.
HQ.
Secretary.
Now, as for officially registering our new citizen here,
Why don't we talk inside? There's a lot of ground to cover. It could take some time.
ah yes, of course. Forgive me. You must be weary from the stasis and your journey back to us. Please, after you.
I'll put on some tea.
Certain parts will start to come into focus, but nowhere near all of it pretty shortly here.
Allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is Kentaro Nagi. You may remember me as Captain of the White Whale, but now I serve as Secretary of Defense here for New LA. The provisional government has charged me with keeping the peace, so all military and police matters fall under my jurisdiction.
He's also my superior officer. And he'd be an excellent person to talk to when you're ready to start looking for work.
What about
With
a job
groceries?
right here with
Ooh,
Blade?
anything tasty?
She seems capable.
Let's give it a little more time. At least until she knows enough to be able to make an informed decision. She seems to be suffering from some form of memory loss.
Memory loss? From the stasis?
She could barely remember her name, and nothing at all about what happened to Earth or the White Whale.
I see. Though, come to think of it, the entire lot of us have only been on this planet for what, 2 months? It shouldn't
I
take
was
very
eating, so
long
I
to
didn't
get
think
caught
about
up.
it.
My thoughts exactly.
Head empty,
Well,
only tummy full.
Where should we begin?
Alright. Okay, nope. Kind of just goes in order here. Alright.
It started at the end, 2 years ago. The end of Earth. The casualty of a battle between two hyper-advanced alien civilizations. Their technology and weapons were beyond our comprehension. We were like infants, naked, powerless. The Earth was reduced to ash and blown away.
That's now the third time we've seen that scene in 2 hours.
I still wonder if I hadn't been there. If maybe all of this could have somehow been avoided.
No one can know that, Elma. What we do know is without you, there'd have been no Project Exodus, and no escape for any of us. Did it go perfectly? No. But we are here, and we are alive. We survived. So yes, Project Exodus. Once we learned the Earth might be threatened, we needed a plan to preserve all her various life forms. That plan was the Earth Life Colonization Project, otherwise known as Project Exodus.
See,
Those of us
we're
who
we're gonna
escaped
start
the White
filling in
Whale
some of the
spent over
pieces
2
here.
years wandering in space. 2 hard years. But we clung to our mission, find a habitable planet and settle there. We had no idea how long it would take. Or that the decision would eventually be made for us.
The xenoforms found us again, and, well, it wasn't a happy reunion. Earth wasn't enough. They wanted humanity destroyed.
Hydrate.
For
Alrighty.
better and for
I got some
worse,
Pepsi over
we
here.
were close to planet Mira when we lost control of the White Whale. Inertia and gravity took it from there.
The ship had taken way too much damage to survive entering the atmosphere intact. We had no choice. We channeled all the power we had left to soft land the habitat. Once the dust cleared, we set to work transforming it into its current state. Searching for survivors, establishing Blade, installing the provisional government. Basically, making it a sustainable city.
Tell me more about
Blade is
Blade.
builders of a legacy after the destruction of Earth. Quite fitting, I think. It's a relatively new organization. Up there in space, we had plenty of provisions, and a crew trained to handle the limited amount of situations we might encounter in our travels. But of course, all that changed after we lost most of our ship and came crashing down here on Mira. We needed food, water, search and rescue teams, surveyors, police. The list goes on and on. It was too much for the provisional government to manage on its own, so Blade was born. The idea was to have one central organization with different disciplines to fill these various roles. Its core was pulled from the Coalition military, so it's mostly former soldiers. But fighting isn't our most important duty. Right now, we have a single top priority that supersedes all others. The search for and recovery of the Lifehold.
Take a look at this. The White Whale was designed to carry an exceedingly large number of passengers, all of them held in stasis. All housed in a structure called the Lifehold. This is a complete schematic of that facility. Only essential personnel were conscious and active for the journey from Earth. The flight crew, maintenance engineers. And of course, some military so we could defend ourselves if necessary. But the vast majority were in the Lifehold. Are in the Lifehold. With any luck, they're all still there, in stasis, waiting to be rescued. But there's a problem. We now know the Lifehold broke apart along with the rest of the ship when we came down on Mira. What we don't know is exactly where all the pieces landed. Not very comforting, I know. Blade's top priority now is locating the missing units.
Ask about registration.
Ah, yes. All citizens of NLA are required to register their name, age, and occupation. We also ask you report any personal assets and take a short survey regarding your current state of health. All purely as a precaution. I'm sure you understand. As the caretakers of humanity's survival, we all have certain responsibilities.
And hey, it's not all bad. Registering gets you access to all kinds of public services.
In any case, I'm sure this is all a lot to digest. You'll be wanting some time. Ms. Koo, even I'm tired of hearing myself speak. Why don't you take our guest out for some air? Perhaps a tour of the administrative district.
Yes, sir. Come on, we'll keep this briefing brief.
So this is also showing you fundamentally how most of the main story will happen. You will basically report to the barracks, they will give you a rundown, and then send you along your way. So a lot of it that I probably can't actually touch right now, for example, up here, as the sign says, Blade Network. There are online missions to cooperate with. Oh, yep, okay, not registered, can't do things yet. That are basically big group missions to go and do. But that does not open yet. Bold of them not to call it Earth 2. I mean, kind of boring and probably copyrighted. Like, there was a series called Earth 2 like years and years back. And then you have other places where the term's been used. So it's probably a case of let's not complicate things.
You know, it's not every day we're authorized to let a civilian tour the administrative district.
Yeah. Nagi must really, really want her to join Blade.
The AD is a bit different from the other districts. It's got everything a Blade would need, all in one place, without any extra fluff.
Get a load of that Skell. Even the way that they walk is so cool. Oh yeah, work it, baby.
Please clarify. Geek out with the other one.
What? You don't remember what a Skell is? That gorgeous exoskeleton that just went by? Basically like the most incredible, awesomest super weapons ever? Lasers, force fields, bipedal and vehicular transformations. Sorry, I get so excited whenever I think about it.
Originally, Skells were developed as a defensive measure to counter potential alien threats. It wasn't enough to save Earth, though. We were outnumbered and outgunned. Still, just look around you. New LA has gone from basically nothing to this in just 2 short months. We could never have come so far, so fast, without Skell technology. I'd love to get you into one to see for yourself, but it's not that simple.
Well, yeah, duh. For one thing, only Blades are allowed to pilot Skells. And even then, you need a license.
These aren't toys we're talking about. They're complex machines with powerful weapons. And they're a precious resource. We only have so many of them to go around. So yes, as you might imagine, the certification process is a fairly rigorous one.
I'm sure you're thinking, where do I sign up for the test? But it's not that simple. They choose you, not the other way around. You can't just walk in the front door and volunteer.
There is some criteria. The details are largely hidden, but basically, HQ only allows the cream of the crop to take the test. Blades who go above and beyond in their duties, and for the people of New LA in general.
So what do you say? If you become a Blade and work hard, I'm sure it'll only be a matter of time before they tap you on the shoulder.
Speaking of work, that reminds me. Why don't we check out the Mission Control Board first? That's where we take on our assignments.
Good call. Let's head on over.
Like I said, first part of the game is very tutorial-y. Mostly not like railroady, because like if I wanted to, I could turn around and leave the city right now, but in general, you're going to want to go through the early parts to have your pieces explained.
So this is Mission Control. We don't have a dispatch system yet, so Blades usually choose their own assignments. Everyone comes here and selects from the missions available on the board.
And it's not just official Blade tasks. Anyone with a request is free to post here. Businesses, citizens, whoever.
Yeah, it's basically how anything gets done in New LA, so the board is constantly updating. Just about every blade will stop by here at some point in their shift.
It's like our second home. You'll always find a number of blades around.
Oh yeah, I do have
blowing
camera
off
control.
steam or browsing mission control for their next assignment.
Whenever I get freed up, I'll stop here first thing to check for any missions I might be suited for.
Likewise. And if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo, that's what the scout console is for. We should show you that next.
Hey, who's giving this tour anyway? We also have the scout console, if the assignment seems too tough to handle solo. And Elma just said that, didn't she?
Hey!
Scout console. Yeah, that's over here. I had to stop and think. It's like, this is a second location. The blade talk is oddly familiar. Yes and no.
When the going gets tough, the tough go to the scout console. You know, to get tougher.
If you do end up joining us, you'll quickly realize just how important this little kiosk is. A lot of the mission control assignments are too much for any one blade to handle. They tend to call for multiple members with specialized knowledge or unique skills. This console lets you search for and recruit other blades to fill those roles for just such an occasion.
You can't spell blade without team. Sorta. Anyway, awesome, right? So, you're ready to join up?
Hang on, Lynn. Take it easy, would you?
What? I'm just saying you'd have to be some kind of an idiot not to want to join Blade. Or maybe a crazy person.
Oh, and here I thought you might be pressuring our guest.
Apology accepted. Now, how about a little shopping? And I'm not talking about the stuff over in the commercial district. I'm talking about Armory Alley.
So if I admit I'm having to pull off my memory here, if I remember correctly, the point of Scout is to essentially grab other players that are online or a copy of them. But the funny part, I literally like never used this except where I had to. It's not a huge make or break. If you want to just like go in and curb stomp something that's giving you a problem, it's worth it. But say this should be shopping time.
So this street's what we call Armory Alley.
Blades can requisition equipment from any of the vendors here.
I won't lie, most Blade members face danger on a daily basis. Having the latest gear isn't about impressing your friends. It's a matter of survival.
True enough. And that goes not only for your personal armor and weapons, what we call ground gear, but for skell equipment as well.
You can even buy whole skells. Can you imagine owning your own skell? Huh? Oh, right, the tour. I think all that's left is the heart of Blade itself. Blade Tower.
So you'll notice this is also broken into a couple of different pieces: arms manufacturers, weapons, armor. If I remember right, yep, can't use them until I actually move along.
Am I right?
The big ass tower.
So yeah, Blade Tower. When we come
No,
here, it's
because
usually
again,
by Blade HQ.
still have to register for the license.
The higher-ups, like Secretary Nagi and Commander Vandam, will spend most of their day here. The government leaders, too. They're based in the tower. Guys like our new Director General Maurice Chassan, for example.
Blades sometimes report to the leadership here after we finish key assignments. You'll want to remember this place.
And that about does it for our tour. So, what do you think? Pretty amazing setup, right? You can't wait to join Blade, right?
Okay, Lynn, seriously, that's enough. We're not here to make a sales pitch. We just want you to have all the facts so you can make an informed decision to join us, or not. Now that you've seen where and how we work, hopefully it made a good impression, but your decision will be just that, your decision. In any case, let's
But
get back to
money,
the
I mean,
plans.
yeah.
Secretary Nagi will be waiting.
Save complete.
Effort is its own reward.
And can I clear this? Hup! Oh yeah!
Am I right?
Hey,
Oh,
Also, no stamina gauge, so you can literally just sprint like a madman the whole time. If you want to. %50 of the time you have a point, 100% of the time. When you don't have a point, you have 50% of the time.
Honey, we're home.
Yes, very amusing.
Who wants a fresh cup of tea?
Thank you, Ms. Gu, but I can't stay long. I just wanted to pass along a request from your commanding officer.
Commander Vandam? Does it have anything to do with our new arrival?
Correct. He stopped by while you were out on your tour. He said he'll come back, but that I shouldn't wait to ask you.
Here we go. I bet I can guess.
You probably can. He wants to fast-track our new friend here for blade duty with a training assignment.
What in the hell are we waiting for?
As he put it.
The commander does have a way with words.
Makes even my pitch sound smooth.
I explained about the memory issues, but he didn't see it as a problem. And to be honest, given our current need for blade recruits, I can't say I entirely disagree.
Hey, it's not me you need to convince. Blade service is voluntary, remember?
Of course, and I would never force or coerce anyone. Well, friend, what do you say? Can we count on you to do your part?
All right, so I'm going to show this just because this amuses the bejeebus out of me. Clearly, everything in the game has made it towards, hey, you want to do this, right? You want to do this, right? If you say no,
Ms. Ku, how much do you know about life pods?
Life pods? You mean like from the white whale?
Yes, those life pods. Like the one Elma, a blade, rescued our friend here from. Emphasis on the word rescued. Because if you aren't released, you just sit there frozen in stasis. Forever.
So did you have an engineering question about life pods? Or is this all part of the guilt trip?
I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about. Now, what'll it be, friend?
you can actually do this back and forth for a while, and it just gets hilarious. I don't remember if he repeats the same thing. Hold on. I actually have to check for a second.
Now,
Yep,
you
there we
wouldn't
go.
want
Yeah,
to
he's got a
stand
couple
for
of
what
different
would have
ones.
Saved your life, would you, friend?
But yeah, essentially, yeah, no, not coercive at all, as he basically just, slowly gets more and more, look, we saved your goddamn life, you owe us. And he's not wrong, but this is one of the few points in the game where I'm just like, you got, like, if you're going to make me not have the choice, I do appreciate that at least the no gets gets something special, but I forget when it loops though. Because it always just has that that stare
You
first.
said no, you wouldn't refuse. That's a yes, right?
There we go. Like I said, it just it gets sillier as it goes, but
I knew
it
you'd make
amuses
the
me.
right choice. Welcome to the organization.
It's not indentured. You
Wilma,
get
you
paid.
can start on your team. You'll begin training immediately.
Yes, Mr. Secretary. With pleasure.
All right. Welcome to the Cool Kids Club.
But yeah, you cannot leave this scene without actually
Let's
agreeing.
discuss
So
that training assignment. We've decided to start you out on a probe installation, just to get your feet wet.
I guess we should back up a bit. Here in New LA, we're using a specialized computer system called Frontier Nav to help us deploy a sensor grid across Mira. A network of data probes that allows us to monitor conditions and collect all kinds of information about the planet.
Expanding that grid and filling in the blind spots is one of Blade's highest priorities. Here,
it's just
take a
like
look.
the real world, for real, for real.
What you're seeing on screen is a terrain map that includes New LA and the surrounding landmass. As you can see, we've divided the area into a series of hexagonal blocks. We call these blocks segments, and together they form our grid. We determined this was the most efficient pattern, given the limited range of our probes. Based on it, we know exactly where we need the probes to go. Now we just have to install them.
The sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned. The Frontier Nav probes can also detect the general locations of living things in the vicinity, which comes in handy if we need to track down a Blade or another citizen.
Yes, quite handy indeed. So for this first exercise, you'll be heading here, to that white segment. Go there, install the data probe, and then come back home.
Got it. East of the city.
In that case, we can take the east gate out of the administrative district, right? We should be there in no time.
I'll leave the details on the data probe installation procedure to you, Wilma.
Of course, Mr. Secretary. All right, you two, shall we?
Yeah. Training or not, let's go install the hell out of that probe.
Alright, so what you can't see, and I know there's a way to switch it. Give me a second. Is now. There we go. Wait, that didn't. Why didn't that do it? That wasn't right. Hold on. I have the game coming through my tablet. That's not supposed to be right. Uh-oh. How did I fix this last time? Yeah, sound disappeared because I borked it. And I have to remember how to unbork it. It's not social. Minimap, auto run, no. Camera distance. I don't think it's in the manual, but I'm going to check the manual. Normally, yeah, help, I'm being janked. Control, yes, basic move, yes. Blah, 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 blah. No. Also, I do love that, like, the Wii U games go do all this stuff for putting the game menu or the game manual data in the game on the system, so you can deal with it this way. But nope. All right, I'm actually gonna have to look this up real fast because I can't believe I did this. I broke it. Actually, hold on. I doubt this will work. I'm pretty sure this is just gonna. Yep, nope, that just still leaves it muted. Alright, that ain't gonna do anything. I will not. I will do no such thing. Aha! Tap the screen. Send back. Okay. Now you've got audio again. So where's the flip it? Because I know there's a way to flip it. Plus. Nope, that just flips the audio. I know there was a way to put the gamepad screen on TV. I get the feeling I am either misremembering or I am derping this, though. Let me try swap screen. Or maybe it's because the system's not up yet. I'll fiddle a little later. I'll stall. I don't want to stall it out forever. Short version. On the gamepad, there is a full world map. It is broken down into the hexes. It's how you fast travel and handle some other submenus. And I'm sitting here going, I swear there's a way to put that up on the TV, and I am just completely blanking, and what I thought it was is what Derp did, so I'll worry about it later. Because I don't want to leave y'all just sitting there waiting. But yeah, now that I forget do I have my ID now technically? Nope. Okay. Because this is my welcome to the club test. I know I figured it out once before. I just, honest to God, cannot remember what it is. Damien redeems. Take a stretch.
Man, am I glad glad we pulled an assignment to the east of the city this time.
And Musk says, have a drink.
Walk all the way back over to the west gate.
Hold on. Are we even sure the East Gate will be open? Last I heard, it was still on lockdown from all the high-level indigent activity.
It was, but they just lowered the threat level earlier today. The gates are officially open for business. One of our teams must have gone out there and kicked some furry indigent butt, huh?
No. We were at the other gate. It couldn't have been us. Maybe it was the others.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. Irina's team is one of our best.
How does she know Irina and Gwyn?
We ran into them just before we met up with you. They were on their way out to an assignment.
Well, then that settles it. It must have been them, right? Man, forget this amateur hour probe baloney. Those guys are where the action's at.
I'll try not to take that personally. But enough talk. We've got our mission to deal with. Let's head out.
Roger. That probe isn't gonna install itself. Let's get to the East Gate, shall we?
I even stretch my legs and wiggle my toes. So this is like an example of what the tablet actually looks like right now. Is the now available for use. Nope, that's zoom level. One more. Now that it says it's available, let me. Nope. Okay. That was not it. I remember it was something weird because at first when I did it, it like I said, by default it moves the game down to the tablet. But I swear there's a move the tablet up as well. And that's what I'm going to have to figure back out. So now that we've gone out the East Gate, you will immediately notice we have some higher level enemies. Nothing too ridiculous, just but they are there. What are we actually? Level 5? So, anyone who's played the other games, you know there tends to be an issue when there's giant monkeys involved.
What the hell happened here? You don't think that one Sinicula could have killed all these simius?
Unless...
Unless... what?
This is bad.
What's bad? I don't follow you.
That Sinicula. It's a tyrant.
Huh? But it looks just like any other Sinicula.
Think about it. Your Your typical simius is way higher up on the food chain than your typical Senicula, right? Usually we find one simius standing over 3 or 4 Senicula corpses. But here, the tables have been turned. And I don't see a single trace of any other indigents in the area. There's only one explanation. That Senicula is a tyrant.
Let me check the Blade Report database. If there's a tyrant this close to the city, someone must have run across it. Bingo. There was a Senicula tyrant sighted not too long ago, but it was a couple of segments further out.
It could have followed the blade that spotted it back towards New LA, or come here to feed, or who knows what.
That's crazy. I can't believe there's a tyrant right on our doorstep and HQ isn't doing a thing about it.
Well, don't forget why they sent us here in the first place. Frontier Nav's range is still limited.
Oh, right. They couldn't track it if there's no local probe. They must have lost it when it went off the grid.
So how about we kill it? Or, what the hell's a tyrant?
The tyrant designation is given to creatures that pose a special threat in one way or another. That doesn't always mean raw strength. Some tyrants will actually register as low rank when we find them out in the field and engage them in combat.
But don't let that fool you. If a creature shows up as a tyrant, you can be sure it's got at least one nasty trait or ability to speak of. The system can't account for everything, though, so don't let your guard down, no matter what rank it assigns. Even some of Blade's very best teams have come back with serious injuries after running into a tyrant in the field. If they come back at all.
Short version, tyrants are bosses. And here we get 2 things that will result in the same action, but you still get to put a little flair into it. It's one of the things that they do a lot with some of the choices when it's like, you're going to have to take an action, but you can do it for different reasons or have different... That is a big roach. Yes, it is, Crowbar. And we're going to squish it. I can either gloat and say we can handle it, or just go, we can't leave it this close to the city. I'm going to protect the city.
As long as you understand the risks involved.
And let's hope I remember how this works.
Count me in. The same goes for everyone in New LA, but if we're gonna settle here on this planet, we're gonna have to get used to dealing with tyrants now and then. Besides, if I need to, I can always run away while it's busy chewing on one of you guys.
Fair enough. But don't push it, okay?
No, because a lot of them are just roaming the world. So a lot of them are just extra.
Be a moral victory. As long as we buy enough time to install the probe, we can use Frontier Nav to track it or any other tyrant that comes this close to the city from now on. Just make sure you're ready before we attack. This will be tougher than anything else we've faced.
Now, what I'm trying to remember... Yep, this is where... Double check your gear. And level up arts, which I am going to double check real quick. I don't believe I've got much of anything I can increase more than I have, but... Yeah, see. Alright. But what I can probably do is level up some of my arts. Yeah, see, I've got 31 points. If I upgrade, it is 4 BP. So I can upgrade pretty much everything I've got on hand. I think I can probably do one more? Yes. No, cannot. Six, 4 should be enough. Don't have enough for rank 3s. Alright, and can I actually target him before we fight? I forget. I'm trying to remember. Nope. Alright.
How is this even remote?
Yeah, okay, he's just level 5. It's only a level 5 boss. Let's lock on and break those mandibles.
I appreciate the help.
Increase res, and come and get me! This is a bad idea.
Upper hand. Assault hammer. Sliding.
Resistant to physical, good to know.
Shadow strike. Flame grenade. Lights me up.
Can send him on fire. That's good.
Fire.
Up.
Move in and keep the rhythm going. See how you like this? Sliding. Big target. Buff up now. Infuriate. That did it. Move in and keep the rhythm going. See how you like this? Shadow strike. I lost my balance.
Would really like some extra heals.
Strike.
I appreciate the help.
See how you like this?
Almost got the mandible down.
See how you like this?
Oh, armor reapply. Come and get me! And he's down. Yeah, big scary thing. I guess I'll shoot him.
Awesome!
Nice work, Lynn. You fought well. You did too. Now let's get down to business and install that data probe. If we stay here for long,
More so early on, forcing enemies to change their target takes a few seconds. So, like, if they're bouncing between me and Lynn, they're going to not get any other skills off. So it's an easy way to buy time.
Okay, the probe should be ready for insertion. I'll just boot it up.
Thanks, Lynn. The top half of the cylinder contains the probe itself. The bottom half is a laser. It dissolves the soil so the probe can burrow to the proper depth. We tried just planting them on the surface at first, but we kept running into problems with the local wildlife damaging the goods. Burying them is going to save us all a lot of time and headaches in the long run. We all set?
Yes, ma'am. Whenever you're ready.
Why don't you do the honors? You can launch it right from your comm device. Give it a try.
I have a smartphone too!
Good. Now we just need to give it a minute to reach the target depth.
And installation complete. We are now online with a solid connection to Frontier Nav.
Excellent. See, at the end of the day, there's really not much to it. The hardest part was calculating the ideal probe locations. We need them spread out evenly to maximize data collection.
Yep, planting probes is easy. And the more we plant, the more likely we are to find missing crew. So anytime you see a probe site, there's no excuse not to plant that sucker.
That'll do it for your training. Let's head back to the barracks and report to Secretary Nagi.
Level up! I think even my cooking got better.
All right, so this is one of the big things that helps fill in the game is that the data probes are also how you fill in all your map data. So going to all the different squares and filling and getting the probes installed means not only do you get data on the nearby area. Oh yeah, see, this is what I was talking about with enemy scale matters. That's pretty much the only hint the game gives you, is that, hey, if they're really big, you should probably approach them in a scale, is because their attack power is based off of assuming you're going to do so. So that's why if you go down after some of the big enemies that are down in the plains, I don't think I can see one from here. But, oh god, nope, we're not doing that yet. Once the level colors start changing. But yeah, that's one of the big things for the maps, is you learn more about the area actually around by getting the probes in place. Almost got to level 6. Might kill a thing or two to round that up. But yeah, oh yeah. But like anytime you see little blue sparkles, get you a bunch of items out of it. Alright. Let's see if we can do this without causing a complete issue.
Appreciated.
Oh yeah, easy enough.
These Marin winds are not very compatible with my hair.
Mia was saying that man-on oil shampoo is really great.
I'll start things at range. Follow my target in sight. Fire carnival. Scream it. Yes. We can relay it.
This'll work like a charm.
Shadow strike.
So you will notice the talents will get a green circle going around them. That's essentially an overcharge. You can basically, if you let the overcharge go all the way up, you end up with... Ooh. There we go. Got a free level out of it. I think that's good enough. But if you go out and you get those done, then that just gives you more to work with. So actually, I wanted to look at the rifle real fast. They had a new... Okay, that's level 8. I am not equipping that anytime soon. Rifle is level 7, so I'm also not touching that for a bit. Okay. But the probes are also part of the fast travel system. Essentially, you can teleport from probe site to probe site once that becomes opened. But this is all your introduction phase, so you're still learning a lot about the odds and ends they're giving you. I just want my shops open. That's my big thing. Boing. Space lambs are little sheeples. But yeah, finish the task they gave you, and then you can. Oh, that's right. Beefcake's here now.
Commander Vandam.
Well, now look what the cat dragged in.
Sorry we missed you last time. We could have come to meet you at HQ, you know.
Indeed. I suggested as much. Twice.
And we know how much I enjoy being told what to do. Anyway, I hear you tangled with a tyrant, way out of your league, on a training mission, no less. That was reckless, and goddamn magnificent.
Yep, there's like Moose. This is Space Moose. He. I don't. Does he do punching? I don't remember. Anyway.
So, Commander, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit here today?
Well, I can't just ask Nagi to do everything for me. I'd be out of a job.
Hey, I delivered you the new recruit, didn't I?
Yeah, you won the bet. Don't worry about it, all right? I'll settle up with you later. You know I'm good for it.
The bet?
I'm sure I'm needed elsewhere. If you'll all excuse me, Commander.
Well, that wasn't obvious at all.
Huh. Look at you two. I swear, you're like two children excited about a new toy.
Look who's talking. I don't recall ever seeing you file a request to personally train a rescue before.
Is that so odd?
It is before we'd even asked her to become a blade, little Miss Stick in the Rear.
Usually I ask when I don't get your slang expressions, but something tells me to just let that one go.
Enough about that. Where are your manners, anyway? I still haven't been introduced to our new recruit here.
Commander Vandam is Blade's top officer.
In a past life, I was chief engineer on the White Whale. Same idea, basically. Someone has a problem, I fix it. You follow? Huh. Not much for conversation, are you?
So you still haven't told us why you're here. From the look of things, I'm guessing this isn't a social call.
You don't think?
No. So let's cut the crap and get down to business.
Ha! Sounds like you're learning my expressions just fine, Elma. Anyway, first we need Chatty Cathy here to choose a division and pull an assignment.
Pretty much everyone in New LA works for Blade, in one of several different fields. Helping to explore Mira, or to maintain order in the city.
Remember when I explained all the different... I explained there were different divisions earlier?
There are 8 different fields in all, and each one has its own branch within Blade. Officially, they're called divisions. Naturally, you'll want to choose one that best suits your personality and your talents.
Let's start with the Pathfinders. Pathfinder's #1 responsibility is planting data probes, like you did on your training mission. It may not be the sexiest job, but important? You bet your ass it's important. We've only been on Mira 2 months. We don't know jack about this place. The more probes we install, the faster we can get our bearings here and give ourselves a fighting chance.
We've already detailed how important it is we expand the Frontier Nav network ASAP. So, for the time being, I'll just remind you of the highlights. It helps us keep Blade safe. It helps us keep the city safe. And most important of all, it's the key to locating the missing parts of the Lifehold and recovering the rest of the human race.
Okay, next up, Interceptors. You
What's
met
my
Admiral
favorite?
Alphanet,
I'll explain
right?
when I'm done.
Irina and Gwen, this is their division. Interceptors have one main duty. Protect New LA and everyone in it from the wildlife here on Mira. Right now, this is probably our busiest division. Interceptors ride shotgun for the research eggheads, they escort VIPs around, and they help any other idiots who get caught out there with their pants down.
Now, are the Harriers. Remember Doug Barrett, the Skell pilot conducting the test flight with Lynn? He's part of the Harriers. If you think of the Interceptors as defense, Harriers would be New LA's offense. They specialize in preemptive strikes on clear and obvious threats. But only on clear and obvious threats. They're not meant to go out and just blast any indigen that moves.
And you got your reclaimers. These guys are in charge of finding the other pieces of the White Whale. Among other things, that is. Including anything of ours left behind after a battle. Skell debris, weapons, personal effects. It can get a bit morbid, frankly, but it's gotta be done. Until we're up and running here on Mira, and have this place completely figured out. Everything we brought from Earth needs to be treated like it's irreplaceable. Also, the search for the Lifehold. That's mostly on the Reclaimers.
Next, Curators. Curators are the first to scout ahead to unexplored territory, bringing back whatever samples they can get their hands on. Fruits, bugs, sticks and stones, you name it. It's not all picking berries, though. Being a curator also means being the first to encounter unknown indigens.
Next? All right, prospectors. Prospectors do, well, prospecting. They poke around, looking for minerals, resources, and whatnot. Things we need for everyday life here. We packed all the essentials we could on the White Whale, but that won't last forever. We need to be able to replenish our water and fuel if we want to survive. And sooner or later, we're gonna have to figure out how to replace things from scratch. From the socket on a Skell's knee joint, right down to the frying pan in Lynn's kitchen. Without these guys busting their butts, we'd have no future to speak of.
Next up, Outfitters. All of our ground gear and Skell weaponry is developed in conjunction with private arms manufacturers, or AMs. Outfitters are Blade's way of supporting these AMs. They'll seek out anything that might inspire new weapon ideas, and even assist with testing new prototypes.
Finally, the Mediators. These are the folks who keep everything hunky-dory with John and Joan Q public. Any problems a civvy has, they come to Mediators. Fight with your neighbor? Mediators. Lost cat? Mediators. It's not a division for everyone. You need to be a jack of all trades, and a people person. Someone with my charming personality? Probably not the best mediator. But if you got what it takes, it's a clutch role, keeping things cool on the home front.
All right, so I think that's all 8 divisions. Any idea which one you'd like to join? Don't fret about it too much. Whichever you choose, you still have a lot of freedom in how you operate. Mediators can still get out there and mix it up, hunt indigens, whatever. And if a Harrier wants to take a break and settle an argument, that's their prerogative too. To be honest, even though it's sort of frowned upon, you can actually change your division whenever you like. So there's really no reason to stress about this. All right, you ready to choose?
Yeah, and? We're on pins and needles here.
All right. So, let's see. With proper nutrition, human actually no. Humans cannot grow. Like humans can be taller, and humans can have other things happen. But the issue is like, um, if you look at like the Guinness Book of World Records for like tallest person, you'll notice that, and if you look at the records in general, it gets very. They all kind of hover around the same point of I want to say 9 foot. No, 11. I think it's about 11 foot. But the answer is, as we exist on Earth with Earth's gravity and atmosphere, we can't get much taller than that point without our bodies wanting to physically fail on us. You would require a completely different world's gravity and atmosphere that would drastically change how the human body has to operate. Generally, you would need far lighter atmospheres and gravities for humans to be taller, because then our skeleton wouldn't push down on us as much. Uh, that's normally the problem with like humans that grow too tall on Earth is the look above. Did I not look above that? No. Under gravity for what reason? I mean, Moose commented on it. Stupid bones, go back to slime. Okay. Anyway, one of the things that they did not mention until right here on this screen, each division gets different perks. And the perks, especially early on, can matter a lot. That's your division point. One of the things that gives you division points. Division points are a separate currency that can be used to fill in the gaps on other things. And especially when you're very early in the game, one of these has a much higher return than all the others. And that is the Pathfinders. Because early on in the game, you will be discovering locations constantly, and you'll be building out Frontier Nav, which is planting the probes. So at least through early game, the Pathfinders gives you the most return on the investment. And because of that, it's where a lot of the players online are. And if you're playing online and wanting to support, by default, the game tries to match you with people in your own division. So early on, I will pretty much always go Pathfinders. Which division gives you better bones? Probably the Prospectors, since they're mining resources. But yeah, that's the kind of the big thing for me is like what. And then you'll also see like you get a support effect, and that's also just a combat buff or other buff. But in this case, if you're a Pathfinder, you get more HP. So that also helps early on when you're wandering around. So Pathfinder, at least for now. I might change it later.
Then it's settled?
All right. Thank God that's over. By the power
Most
and
is a
destiny,
prospector, diggy
yada,
diggy
you're
hole.
officially a blade.
Congrats, and welcome.
I know you're gonna do great.
Now for the job. Let's get down to brass tacks. Nelson's team has gone missing. Last contact we had, they were installing a data probe out in eastern Primordia. Then, nothing.
Nelson. Pathfinders, right?
Are we talking indigents here or what?
Your guess is as good as mine, but they did have a skell with them. You'd think they could hold their own, or at least run away.
Alright, we're on it. We'll head to their last known location and go from there.
Report whatever you find ASAP.
Of course. Let's move out.
Roger that.
And thus begins chapter 3. Yep, there we go. You're officially a Blade now. Congrats! Becoming one of us grants you access to a variety of services, including the shop terminals, AM terminal, mission control, and more. Some services are still off limits, but we'll get back to those later. Fast travel is now available. And this is one of the other pieces. When they were talking about working with the arms managers, yes, now I can play dress up. One of the important things on that, whoops, is essentially you want to help level up the companies because that gives you higher level and better stat selection gear. So unless you want to be stuck with level 1 basic stuff for the majority of the game, you need to work with the arms manufacturers. But yes, if I remember correctly... Okay, that's still under maintenance. Alright, having to try and pull this from memory. This is the job board.
Hey.
So like you'll see, a bunch of different early stuff. Basically boils down to like deliver units from the Frontier Nav, go help fight bosses, gather certain items. So you can, if I remember right, you can either grab all or I'm trying to remember. Yep. Or does it lock at like 10 or something? I honestly don't remember. But anyway, there's basically no reason not to have a bunch of these going at any given time because that's going to get you rewards for doing it. I need to actually hit up Shopping Alley, which is going to be... it's been too long since I've played routinely to not get turned around. That's the thing out of the barracks is this side. Yep, there we go. How much longer? Maybe an hour, not too much longer. The next area has me go out pretty far, so I'm not going to worry about that just yet. I'm mostly just showing some of the odds and ends tonight, but yeah, like right now, yes. You start, yep, there we go. Because I've been using mostly Sakuraba stuff, I've already given them some dev points. Dev points is how you level them up. If you have enough Moranium, which again is from working with the Frontier Nav, planting the probes, you can also just pay that in Moranium and level them up that way, which allows you to do it. And they tell you their trends are their weapons are known for stability, but they often lag behind in resistance and other attributes other than physical. Gonna go off to sleep? Okie dokie. Have a good sleeps. Then the second one that we get to start with is that most of their stuff focuses on beam technology, which is laser weaponry and gear. So you can upgrade traits, which also increases the rarity in equipment. Engineer augments. Augments are essentially different effects that you can give your armor and weapons. So like if you want to get more HP, more TP, more evasion. It basically gives you little ways to boost your attributes to custom again. and then develop new gear is how you get new weapons. Or rather, how you get like the really high-end stuff. You'll notice this is all like level 20, level 40, level 60. But you can do that, and you can also get more clothing options. And yes, that includes a bunny suit, because why not? You want a bunny suit, if you want swimsuit, if you want... There's just all sorts of various things that's like, hey, if you want odd gear, this is how you have to work to build it. This should be actual ground gear store. Yep. You're asking if you can buy a Skell? Technically, because you don't have a license, it won't let you. But you'll notice technically that this is how much funding you would need to buy one. Even the most basic Skell is 217,000. We have 32,000. And if you want to go for some of the later high-end ones, because these are actually, yeah, these are all the level 30 options. And so basically the higher end level 30 option goes all the way out to over 500,000. So they are not cheap. Why did I back out? I actually wanted to check the ground gear. Just want to make sure I've got some good stuff set up. Alright, that's actually in a good spot. And most of them are just going to be out of my price range for now. But you'll notice most of the levels for their gear, for basic gear, is going to be like level 1, level 5, level 15. Most of them are they run in these cycles of 5 to 10 levels. So, let's see, I could get that. I could get some new stuff there, but I would run out of funds very fast. And yes, that does mean I can totally buy the swimwear, and if I wanted to. Dooba dooba. 5,000. And you'll notice there's also casual wear, blade wear, medium wear. It kind of just bears down to different types along the way. I kind of want some of the heavier stuff, but I also know if I go for it, I'm going to end up in trouble funding-wise. Because the thing is, you're not just responsible for your gear. You are responsible for everybody's gear. Their gear is not going to level up. You're not going to magically have other stuff. So if you ignore everyone else, you end up in a situation where the party can't keep up. Had to AFK, Mom was out in the living room. How's Mom doing? She getting some good rest? Yeah, that's the big thing, is like if you start investing too much in one character, you can end up having all sorts of issues because now you don't have enough money. Went to town today and she went with good. If they're slightly longer cooldown and the stability goes out the window, though. Yeah, she's got essentially the current best out of them. Let's see, like current defense. Yeah, I'm almost as defensive as Lynn by default. I have 21, Lynn has 28, Elma has 11. But Elma has like 10 points more in evasion than the rest of us as well. Alright, I don't think it's going to be worth it to go after gear just yet.
Hey.
As much as I do want more gear. So we're just gonna leave that as is. Like I said, if I remember right, I want to say this mission has us leave either has us leave the first continent or it has us go to kind of the edge. I want to say it has us go to the edge of this continent. Yeah, because this is still Primordia. So I believe I still have... Yeah, I still have Lynn, I still have Elma. Oh yeah, weather effect. Currently, meteor shower. Yeah, you know, there's moon, big moon, even bigger moon. Another moon. Another moon. So it's like we have at least 5 either other moons or planets that are all visible from here. I'm kind of shocked I didn't run into something way bigger while I was just wandering like that while looking up at the air. I almost want to go up. Oh, this might actually be a really bad thing. Don't have any more.
I'm in trouble. Heal
Push them back. Appreciate it. That move in and keep the rhythm going. See how you like this? Upper hand. That's it. Melee strikes. Infuriate. These Marin winds are not very compatible with my hair. I know a good treatment. Hit me up once we're back in the city.
Alright. Well, that went without going sideways. Up. Really kind of wish I'd... Part of me like really wishes I had grabbed another party member. But I also know that may not work for a while. Oh, I'm about to go down. Okay. Okay. That was a little too risky. That was a little too risky. Yeah, I need to go up there. If I remember correctly. And that would be a tyrant. Oh, level 8 is probably a terrible idea. Probably a terrible idea. Yeah, I know. I realized when I was saying that, like, Chaos probably thinks I'm calling to her like crazy. This is probably gonna all end in tears.
I'm attacking. Move in.
Yippee! Cut. Eh? Oh, it changed to daytime, so it left. Damn it! I'm gonna take my frustration out on you.
Buckle down. You ready for engaging? Lay down some fire. I have the shot. Firing. Move in and do some damage. Ready? Too bad. Shadow strike. Side slash. Sliding slinger. They're tough. Touch me up. I won't let them get me. Appreciate it.
some armor.
Level up. I think even my cooking got better.
Probably should spend a little time low. The assistance is needed. Help! I think I already have... Oh, no. Still... Level 8. Of course I can't wear it yet. That would make sense, even though it matches. Alright. It just goes in the store for now. Where am I and where am I going? I need to go up. Oh, jeez. Scared the bejeebus out of me, why don't you? So yeah, this is one of the first parts where the game is like, okay, the free roam's in effect. You probably need to run around and level up and get gear and all the other odds and ends. But as I was saying, I'm going to do some shenanigans. If you really want to be psychotic from the creature in the as part of the opening, you can go fight that thing. It's only level 92. Yeah, this is what I was saying, KO, is the player level caps at 60 in this game. So everything level past that is legitimately your equipment, and your skills have to make the difference.
Effort is its own reward.
So like, there's non-boss versions. It's only level 50. Actually, I don't remember if I can do this yet, but I want to see. Oh, come on. Give me the map. Trying to remember how to fast travel. I want to go back to town. I don't think it's going to let me. Unless I remember it's clicking on the... Need my grid view back. There we go. Again, it annoys me that I actually can't show you all the screen. I need to investigate that later. do this. Okay, it was so brave when she's not the one fighting it. You're not wrong. Alright, anyway, I'll pop to the west gate and go back up into the city. Because I'm trying to remember if I can start meeting a bunch of this, if I can start meeting other characters yet, or if I'm forced to go through part of the story first. Because I know a lot of everything opens up at this point now that I have my license, my basic license. Bum, bum, ba, 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 ba.
Sir.
Hey,
So that is one of the things. Like if you walk by people and you overhear some stuff, sometimes you will legitimately get like information to put on the map that gets put on the map. But I think there's certain quest requirements, but I'm not sure. Hold on.
Guess what?
Hold on.
there you are.
Oh no, okay, you're one of the people for like turn in a quest. No. Yeah. No, you're the ones that want. Oh, I want to go in the lab. Not the right building. That would also help. Can I clear this? Nope. Ew.
Listen,
Sorry?
There we go. So what I don't remember is if I just have to meet the characters or if I have to start their storylines, and I honest to God don't remember. Well, I can't go in there. That's not a good sign.
oh, hey! Did you hear?
Oh, hey!
Shoot. So yeah, that might be... Might be what I'm thinking of as slightly later. Because until you've talked to them, you can't change your members around. Which annoys me because I want my favorite girl. Well, that just moves it to the screen, right? Hold on. That's camera control, system, subtitles, right. Just trying to remember. Yeah, it's all just notifications. Okay. Also, Musk, look. The number changed. Your big mystery number. There's an elevator up there at some point. I'm gonna have to do some digging after I end this stream on the menu thing, because I swear there's a way to do it, and it's... Because I remember it was really well hidden and I had to dig it up last time, but I do remember finding it. Excuse me. Trucking through. Yoink! Okay. Now we're in the underbelly. I need an elevator, please. Baby, forget how to travel, give elevator. Nope. I know there is one. Just don't remember where. I assume it's a battery power system. Not a bad... There's one of the elevators. Not a bad theory. Red question mark.
Hey.
Red question mark? I think that's right. Yeah, that's like start a quest, isn't it? Who wants to know? But also, can I have your outfit? Frontier nav. Ah. What's it? Different types of probes? Yes. Gimme. No. Yes. They chained. Oh, this is where they teach you how to chain probes. So the thing is, book is procrastinating bed. Crowbar is going to bed. Okay. Good night, Crowbar. But yeah, one of the big things is that as you go through, you'll discover that there's different probe types. You can get upgrades for the probe types, and all those different things get in the best. Yes. Get in the bed, I think is what was built. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end the stream pretty shortly here. Like I said, I'm just trying to remember a few odds and ends. I need to remember how I start some of the character quests, though. What do you have?
Now what?
Rather urgent. Okay. Alright. I'll listen. for some supplies to a team in the field. Okay. Alright, so Armory Alley, manufacturers, quest gate should be right over there with Eleanor.
Hey.
Yeah, so now I've got a couple of new quests. Or gathering because I've found some new materials. Alright. Yeah, I think it's more they start to show up later. I really don't want to do this right away. See, I was thinking, like my brain was going to be like, sleep Oni-chan, but then it was like, no, that's the easy joke. The forbidden and cursed thing. Are you saying sleep is not forbidden? I know my sleep's often cursed. Alright. I'm gonna try and stick to the road this time, and we're just gonna run through. Sleep paralysis demon, One-chan? Yeah, I have that sneaking suspicion that I'm going to get to where I'm supposed to for the story. And it's just gonna... Speaking of which, I need to change my mission. If I stick to the road, I'm ever so slightly safer, but not by much. Night, KO. Ba, 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 ba. That's a lot of shiny items. And a lot of high levels. Pay no attention to the small creature grabbing the shiny objects. Okay. They can't get there from here. Yeah, that should take me up there. Roughly. As I say, without actually Make a plan. Angry pigs. Around. Oh, there's Miles. Let's go in there. Go in here anyway.
Yo.
Yep. Here's your supplies. No. I got lucky. Don't worry about it. I don't remember what level that is, frankly. And I don't want to find out right away. But I'm starting to think I'm not going to have a choice much longer. Can't climb that. We aren't playing with the dinosaur. Oop. Hearing something that sounds like blurps. Okay. Anyway, there we go. This is our way south. This is our way south. Get a base camp over here. Build it all out as a go. And up.
Engaging. Lay down some fire for me. I have the shot. Fire! Light! Flicker! Side slash! Now, take my turn.
Increase armor. Pay attention to me.
Assault hammer! Sliding splinter! Gaining ground! I need recovery! Success!
Let's keep it up.
Strength comes from experience. That's true on any planet.
I forgot some of the plants were not plants.
Lasers?
Shadow strike!
I appreciate the help.
Side slash! Sliding splinter!
Lasers?
Infuriate! Upper hand! Flame grenade! Gaining ground! I need recovery! I should heal up first. Shadow strike! Side slash! Assault hammer!
Spectacularly done. We got him. Let's move.
I think, yeah, we're about to get to the story spot. We're getting like level 8s. This is probably not a good idea. Alright, that's actually a really good spot to stop and save. And since many people are calling it a night, and I've been going for almost 4 hours, that's probably a good stop to call it for the evening myself. Take a little time to investigate what I was apparently forgetting last time, and I'll see about figuring out the thing with the mini-map, because I know there's a way to do it, I just don't remember how to. It's been way too long. But I hope everyone saw something interesting. I hope they had a good time, and I only had about 20 more minutes in you. Yeah, I know, you've been keeping the early nights, none of the super late night stuff anymore. I have to double check with KO and some others, because I know she's been doing... Sit up straight? No, I don't wanna. Fine. No, gonna do all the things because you can. You just want to end the stream with some extra activity? Wait, how can I slouch? How can I stop slouching if I'm also stretching? I have to slouch to stretch, don't I? Oh, ooh, I actually got some popple and crackle on that. Which probably means it had been a little bit much for a wiggle. But yeah, I will call it there. I will investigate my issue with the mini-map earlier in a bit and see what I can do. It'll probably be either over the weekend or early next week before I kick back into this, but I intend to keep at it a couple nights a week and work on getting through the game, because like I said, I want to get to the point where I can do some online and kind of show off some of the online before it all gets shut down, because it kind of irks me that it's going to just disappear a good chunk of the game. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. We'll go on over to the closing stream, and I'll see everybody next time.